just be. Don't take it. Take it. Just don't be. And live my life. Don't take it personal. I ain't lying. I ain't hiding. I've been grinding.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys can hear me a little bit better. I recently got a new microphone, which I'm really excited about, so let me know if you can hear me better. Today I'm going to come to you guys with a little bit of a different video, kind of through some journaling and some revelation with God. I really started to unpack what it looks like to have cycles of completion and the 3 things that you can do when you are essentially about to quit on a goal or a dream, an ambition, whatever it is, when you're about to quit, the 3 options that you have. Funny enough, I realized this by playing a game, so I guess I just took that and downloaded it into the game of life. But if you are interested to learn more, please keep watching. So this revelation came to me while I was playing a game called Sudoku. If you're not familiar with Sudoku, it's a game where you have to get 1 through 9 vertically, horizontally, and in a cluster. I'll leave a picture somewhere in here of what it looks like, what like a sheet of a Sudoku puzzle looks like. And so I was commuting back and forth from work. I still, even though we're in the pandemic, I still go into the office once or sometimes twice a week. And so I take the train. And I was commuting back and forth from work. Normally, I play solitary, but I decided that I wanted to do something a little bit different. And normally, I don't play Sudoku on my phone. I'm old school, and I have my pencil, and I have the little books that I've gotten from different bookstores, and I go through and I just mark it up because I'm a nerd. But for whatever reason, I decided let's switch it up. So I downloaded this Sudoku game. There were 4 levels. There was easy, intermediate, difficult, and then easy, intermediate, hard, and then difficult. And so I was playing on easy. It was going pretty well. I mean, I would mess up, but I would probably complete a puzzle within 15 minutes. But I would notice anytime I was going through a puzzle, and I messed up, I would get so frustrated with myself that I would just exit the app. You get 3 chances to mess up, so I would mess up those 3 times, and then I would close the app. After winning 4 or 5 times on easy, I would just be like, you know what, fine, and I wouldn't go back to it for a little while. So eventually, after playing for some time, I was like, okay, easy's getting a little too easy. Let's try hard. And so I got to hard. First thing I realized, it took way more time, and I eventually got to so it probably would take me 10 minutes to complete an easy. Well, I got to about 30 minutes, still hadn't completed it, and I'd messed up 3 times. And so when you mess up 3 times, it prompts you, and there are 2 choices in that prompt. You can start a new game, or you can resume. And I think at this point, I was so used to just getting so frustrated with myself and exiting the app. So those are 3 choices, right? I can start over, I can resume, or I can completely exit the app and not revisit it. And for whatever reason that day, I said, you know what, I'm going to resume. And let me tell you. So it took me a while to complete the first hard puzzle. I'm not going to lie to you. It took me probably about an hour of total time on and off, like putting it back down, picking it back up, being consistent, right? But I eventually finished it. And it was such an accomplishment. I know it's a small thing, but it was such a win for me. And so I guess this whole thing is just to ask you, what are the things that you are closing the app on? What are the things that you keep restarting? And what are the things that you could resume and get to the end with, right? And so even though it took me longer, I learned new strategy. I didn't have to start over from the beginning. And I got better and better each time I did it. And then I realized there was some infrastructure I could set in place for myself to make sure that I didn't resort back to just closing the app or constantly starting over again. So one of the things that I did was, okay, if I mess up 3 times, I need to do 3 right moves before I close the app. And so in doing that, it programmed my mind to not end on a bad note. So if you mess up, you know, maybe you're dieting or something like that, and you mess up your diet, it's okay to mess up, but like, how do you get back on track? So like the other day I had like 10 Oreos, and I didn't realize that they were 40 calories, I guess. And I'm not a calorie counter, but I didn't realize like a serving was 2. And so I was like, oh shoot, I've had like 5 servings. And I felt really bad about it. So what did I do? I had some carrots, and I felt way better because I was like, all right, I think I kind of balanced it out. You get my point. Like, what can you do to end it on a positive note, so that way the next time you pick it up, you're not having that negative interaction? The second thing is, what can you learn that you can take into your like place of resuming? So you messed up 3 times. How do you take those 3 mistakes and apply them to the rest of the game? Because once you've made those mistakes, you're not going to make them again. You've leveled up. And so use your resume button as like the level up button. It's like, oh, I've got new strategy. I know not to do that. Like, use those things to elevate where you are. And I want to be clear in saying that, like, when you mess up, there may be some cases where you do need to start the game over. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with having to start over. I think the biggest lesson here is that closing the app should never be your option. Like, it should never be your option. I will tell you guys, when I would mess up, I wouldn't pick it back up for weeks. And it's like, there's been businesses that I won't pick back up for weeks that I'm working on. There are projects or things that I'm excited about that I make one mistake. After doing 100 things right, something gets hard, something gets complex, or someone tells me something, and that's it. I shut down. And I give up when God didn't tell me to give up. I didn't tell myself to give up, but something got in my head, and now I'm completely off track. And I'm realizing that this is not just something that I'm facing. So many people go through this. Like, what are the things that you're completely closing the app on? What are the things that you keep restarting when resuming is always an option? I think sometimes as humans, we just want to be these perfect, proud, I was going to say patties, but like, I don't think that's right. Honestly, shout out Patty. But I think that there are these, like, we have this perception that we have to be these perfect individuals, and that there's like, making a mistake means you're the worst person in the world. And like, being human means being imperfect. Like, it's okay to make mistakes. And the best part about mistakes is that you get to learn from them, and you get to keep going with them. So I'm like asking you, what are the things that you keep closing the app on, or you keep restarting without gaining the level up and taking the mistakes and making them better? What are the things that you could be doing that you're holding yourself back from because you have negative thoughts and you feel like, well, I can't do it, I've already messed up, I'm never going to be where that person is, or whatever the case may be? Like, are you constantly not finishing something because you keep restarting it, or you keep closing the app on it? What are all of those things? And really ask yourself, what am I doing to get to the end of it? Even if it's going to take me longer. Like, the easy game took me like 10, 15 minutes. The hard game took me an hour. It took me an hour that first time to complete it, right? But like, how long does it take me now? It takes me 25 minutes. Now, think about it. I've leveled up to hard, so it is going to be harder. And it started out extremely hard, but as I've developed new strategy, as I've learned how to think on a strategic level that's harder, I've been able to shorten that time. And so there's a certain amount of practice makes perfect. But if you never get to the practice, if you keep stopping the progression, the practice, and the learning, you're never going to get from point A to point B. I will tell you, and I mean, you guys can agree or disagree, but I think my YouTube videos have gotten a lot better. You know, I think that I've learned to edit better. I've learned to put in certain things. I've learned to find new strategy. So, to sum all of this up, I'm really imploring on you to think about, when you're faced with a hard option, are you closing the app? Are you restarting the game? Or are you pressing resume and taking the level up? And think about all of those the next time you decide, I'm not going to do this thing anymore, I'm done. Whether it's your diet, whether it's a job search, whether it's a relationship, whether it could be anything. Like, those are the 3 choices that you have at any given point, every time you make a decision. So yeah, that was all I really wanted to say. And I've been trying to incorporate this into my life and trying to really ask myself those 3 things when I'm making a decision or when I'm giving up. And I will tell you, it has been a game changer. It is pushed me to do things that I would not do and go places that I would not go and move the way that I normally don't move. So, anyways, thank you for watching. I hope that this inspires somebody. Let me know if you would like to see more videos like this. I have been journaling and spending a lot of time with God, and I would like to share some of my findings if you guys would like to hear them. Alright, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.
Taking just